Do you have what it takes to be a voice actor? Let's find out. On today's episode of Becoming a Voice Actor, we are going to focus on classes, education, training, coaching, everything that you're going to need to prepare yourself and your skills that you're going to need to be able to perform commercial, promo, animation, video game, audiobook, educational, and everything in between in the voiceover world. So, the structure of this video, we're going to talk about my background of how I got trained and what education I have. And then we're going to quickly go to my computer where I'm going to show you guys the best resources to find online classes and even some in-person classes depending on where you live in America. So let's get right to it. So a little bit of history about me and my voice acting career in terms of training, education, and coaching and things like that. I started around 2019, right before the pandemic started. I was posting videos on YouTube, streaming on Twitch. One day I posted a video on YouTube that got the attention of a recruiter at a company called Pro Guides Valorant. You guys might have heard of them. They do educational videos that cover the topic of Valorant, the video game, and they post their videos on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, their social medias. Unfortunately, the company is no longer around, at least in the capacity when I was working for them for 3 years, from 2020 until 2023. But that's how I got my start. I didn't have the most education back then. My voice was not tuned, to say the least, but that's just how it goes in the voiceover industry sometimes. We all need to start somewhere, and back then, I didn't have the training to do the work that I do now, but that's the journey. I started 4 years ago, and I was a complete novice. I barely knew how to have breath control or how to change the tone of my voice and even add accents and different tonality to my voice, and now I can do all of that and more. So where did I go after I got that gig? Well, I decided to have a career change, or a college career change. I transferred to Illinois State University, and I transferred into their acting program and their film and digital media program. In the acting program, I studied theater, performance arts. I learned how to act there. I spent 3 years there taking acting 1, acting 2, acting 3, on camera, improv, auditioning, things of that sort. I went and got classic, proper, formal acting training, which is what I would recommend for anyone who wants to get into any form of acting, whether it be theater, TV, film, voiceover, improv. If you want to do it professionally and you're still under the age of 18, or if you're even still in college and you can transfer, do it. I highly recommend it. If you want this to be your career, the more training, the better. A lot of casting directors out there know that the competition is fierce. And because of that, you might have good auditioning skills, but if they look at that resume and they see that training and coaching section at the bottom of that resume is lacking, they might pass up on you if they don't think that you're qualified for whatever task they might ask of you. But I understand that some people who want to get into voice acting specifically might be past the college age, so going back and getting a bachelor's degree in that field isn't the most viable option for you. I know some people that have a change of heart and then they end up transferring to Juilliard or Columbia Acting or NYU Tisch School of the Arts. I even know a couple people that went to Yale School of Drama and got their master's in acting. But they're on a different path from what I'm trying to explain to you guys in this video today. With that being said, I went to Illinois State, got my degree in acting, and I got a degree in film. And after I got out in 2023, I wanted to get more training. So I looked on the internet, on Twitter, Google. I even asked one of my demo producers, where do you find classes at? What are the best classes? Are classes in person better for voiceover? Over the internet, are they better? What do I need to elevate my level of skill in this ever-changing industry? So after I got my formal training at university, where I spent 3 years there studying day in and day out, 5 days a week, I came back home, got on the internet, and I got busy looking up classes. I first started off with Acting Studio Chicago, which is close to where I live in Illinois, and I went and took in-person classes, which was pretty nice for me. I liked learning in person. But I know for a lot of you, you might not live in the 3 main acting markets of America, which are Los Angeles, New York City, and Chicago. So in-person acting classes, let alone in-person voice acting classes, are probably few and far between where you live, if any are even presented in your area at all in person, which I know for some states is probably none. Imagine trying to get a voice acting class in person in Oklahoma or Alaska. Good luck. After I got done studying at Acting Studio Chicago and I took most of their voiceover classes, I wanted to get more recurring classes and workshops that focused on certain skills, per se, in the voice acting field. I wanted to learn more about commercials, Promo. What's the difference between animation voice acting and video game voice acting? What is motion capture for video game and animation? How do I develop skills for one side of the industry, which is commercial, which is like nice, clean cut, very corporate, very straight to the point, announcery, versus how do I sound like a real person when I'm doing animation and video games? Like, what's that distinction? So I went and searched up more classes and I found some. So for the second part of this video, we're going to cut to me on the computer where I'm going to go through everywhere you can find classes and coaching online, and some of these sites even have in-person classes depending on where you live. So let's cut to it. Hey everyone, we're back in on my computer now. Got the headphones on and the mic on the desk so that way we can get on my internet and show you guys all the classes you need to know for in-person and how to find them over the internet through Zoom too. So let's get right into it. Okay. So the first website that you guys need to know about if you want to become a professional voice actor and find good classes in your city in person or over the internet is voiceoverresourceguide.com. Trust me, throughout the rest of these videos I'm going to post on this channel, we are going to be referencing this website and its contents almost every single video, for most of them for a while I do this series. This website is your lifeline, voiceoverresourceguide.com. Learn it, live it, love it, bookmark it on the top of your Google Chrome page, whatever you need to do, become familiar with this website. It's the very least I can give you. So how are we going to navigate this website? So first, you're going to see it's voiceoverresourceguide.com on top. You're going to see all of these tabs up here. So if you are in the three major markets, Los Angeles, New York, or Chicago, what you're going to do is you're going to come down to Training and Tech. So Training and Tech LA, Training and Tech New York, Training and Tech Chi. When you come down to Training and Tech, the page is going to load, if it will load. There we go. And we're going to go down and we're going to examine all of these classes or coaches that you're going to see listed in alphabetical order. So for example, let's go to Ace Studios because I've taken a class with them before. You're going to see Ace Studios. It's going to tell you the type of training they are, like are they coaching, training tech, anything in between. It's going to give you their phone number so that way you can see their phone number for their establishment. If you want to go to in-person classes, it's going to show you where their address is, but let's click on it, Training and Tech. It's going to show you a little glimpse of where they are in person. It's going to tell you all the teachers that work there, what type of levels they have in terms of what classes they got, types of training offered. Some of them will have cost per session, but you're usually going to have to find that online or on their homepage of their website. It'll usually have it there. But it's going to give you everything you need to know about the school, at least at a glimpse. And most of them, if not all of them, are going to have the link to their website. And what it's going to show you is it's going to take you to their website. And then on here, you can go and look at their classes. Like right here, you can see all the classes that you can sign up for and pay for if you wanted to on Ace Studios website. So now that we took a look at Ace Studios, you can go down and look at all of these depending on what like school might interest you. Like you have Ace Studios, Actors Connection. Here's an improv studio. Here's a school that teaches you about ADR and commercial voice acting. Here we have another one that I've taken before, animation acting with Donna Grillo. She's a great teacher, teaches a lot about animation. Just go all the way down and examine every single school that might interest you in terms of what you're looking for. You might be looking for a commercial class, animation class, video game class, audiobook class. This website will show you everything you need to know. And all you have to do is just click on any single one of these, go to their website and see if they offer in-person classes, over the internet classes, through Zoom, workshop. Here's one of my favorites, Real Voice LA. I love them. I'm going to get another demo done through them soon. They have plenty of classes. I'm going to bring them up later. Also on here, what a lot of people don't realize, and I'm glad this one is here right now, look at Robin Reed VO. If you see someone's name in VO, usually that's going to be someone that's offering coaching, individual coaching. And that's a great resource to have as a voice actor because having individual coaching can give you that one-on-one time you need to learn different skills and skill sets that can like give you the individual craftsmanship of how to build up those skills, if you know what I'm talking about. Sometimes for some people, it might be better to get coaching because you might not do the best in the class environment. So finding someone like Robin Reed and soliciting I don't know where it is on this website, if it has her pricing per se, or how to at least reach her and how to reach out to her, that might be better for you. But not everyone wants coaching and some people might not be able to afford coaching. So let's go back and just examine a few more classes. Who else has some classes that I know about? Here's a good one, the Help Network. I love Help Academy. Here is where you can find classes and workshops and webinars outside of just classes too. They only have 3 right now since it's the end of the year, but this is where you might be able to find a workshop, webinar, something that might interest you in terms of a specific skill. Maybe you just want to get in front of a certain casting director, certain voice director, certain producer, studio, whatever have you. But this is how you're going to find it. So it's the same thing for New York. New York might have a few more individual studios that allow you to go in person that Los Angeles might not have for per se. Like here, like Actors Connection New York. This is a studio that teaches in-person classes only in New York. So they might teach classes over the internet that anyone could take. But if you want to take an in-person class, there's their New York location. I think the same thing goes for Chicago as well. Let me check real quick. I should know this because I live here. Training in Tech Shy. Yeah, Chicago doesn't have as many, but I can very much vouch for Second City. I've trained there before. Voiceover Studio Chicago and Acting Studio Chicago. Big vouches for all 3 of those schools as someone that's from Illinois. So now that I've explained the 3 major markets, if you live somewhere that might not be in a big city in America, you can go to regionals. There's a regionals homepage for Regional West, Midwest, Northeast, South. Let's say, for instance, let's go to the South because we know southern states might not have as big of a market, so there might not be that many schools. We go to Regional South and let's see what it says. So it's not going to be as many options as the big 3 cities, but at least on here you can go and select Training in Tech. And then it's going to show you all of the resources like Atlanta Voiceover Studio, Global Voice Acting Academy. It's going to tell you exactly where they are in Atlanta, Georgia, Houston, Texas. Houston. Oh, there's a lot of Houston, Texas. I did not actually predict that. That's actually really cool. More Houston, Texas. Here's North Carolina. Are there any more classes besides that? Atlanta, Georgia. But yeah, just go. If you live somewhere that's not a major city, click whichever region you want to go to. Let's go to Northeast. Click Training in Tech. And then examine the class. Oh, they only have 1 in Boston. Awkward. But yeah, that's how you can find classes on Vorg.com. And like I said before, this website is going to be your lifeline for becoming a new voice actor in terms of learning demo producers, finding agents, finding casting directors to submit your voiceover demos to for their internal rosters, finding classes, even finding gear and stuff that you might need on here too. So become very familiar with this website. It will help you on your journey tenfold. Let's go to the next best resource, Acting and Voice Studios. This is a great place for if you want to find discounted acting classes that are offered just through this website, and they sometimes offer discount codes, so that way you can get a decent class that might be $180 and get it for $100 or $120. So how do you get to it? You want to go to voiceover class and just simply click it. And then it's going to have a bunch of different classes for you to take. Like this one is taking a class with the top VO agent. So that way you can get yourself in front of a voiceover agent and learn what they expect from voiceover actors, what type of work they do, how their market differs from others. Like I know Ali Silber of DDO is in their New York office because I have a friend that signed with her. She's a great agent that works out of the New York office. So if you want to get a voiceover agent in New York, you might want to consider signing up for this class. Or I've taken this class with Billy Collar of CESD earlier this year, a great guy that has been working in voiceover for over 30 years at CESD in their New York office. Take a class with him and learn the ins and outs of commercial work. You might want to just go down here and just scroll the list. Like here, we already got 2 classes from casting directors and an agent for animation. Director Laura Lopez of Netflix Animation. You want to get your animation demo or video game demo on a roster for an animation casting director, take a class with them. Impress them with your skills, and potentially if they give you their contact information, reach out to them a day later, week later, month later, and say, hey, I took a class with you. I'd love to work with you. Here's my website. Here's my demo. Here's my resume. But yeah, this is how you find classes for animation, commercial, agent classes to get in front of agents and display your skills, classes to display your skills in front of casting directors, so you can hopefully get on their rosters if they allow you to send your information into them. Even classes talking about voiceover reels and like how to record them. In-person classes, which this website does offer. I think in-person classes for acting and voice studios is mostly in New York. Don't quote me on that. It might be in different places. I don't know personally. I've never taken an in-person class with them. But yeah, that's how you can find classes on acting and voice studios. That's the first and best option outside of Vorg if you want to find classes that are discounted, that constantly keep getting updated every single month. The next one is VO Pros. Similar to acting and voice studios, you can find casting directors, agents, producers, people that work in studios, managers, everything in between on the vopros.com. And also, by the way, guys, I will link every single one of these websites in the video description too, so that way you can have easy links to them and easy access. After VO Pros, we have a smaller studio ran by Jun Yoon called Red Side Studio. I recently took a class with him and Michael Allen Schneider for anime characters just a couple weeks ago. The easiest way to find classes for them is to go to redscythe.com, click on actor, and then see whatever classes and coaching that they're offering at the time. So he has 2 classes right now left for November that aren't sold out, and he has individual coaching you can get with him. I very much vouch for June, and I very much vouch for Red Side Studios, so they're a fantastic resource. Next is my favorite. These are, if you listened earlier in the video, I talked about Real Voice LA and how much I love them. This is where you can find their website. They have a casting list, or they have a little bit about their casting where you can submit your voiceover demo for their internal roster, but that's not what the topic of this video is about. You guys want to hear about classes. Real Voice LA is a great website and a great company that does post-production voiceover work. They make demos, they teach classes, they do work for studios and stuff. Here you can look on their in-person classes tab and see what classes they offer in person at their Los Angeles location. I very much vouch for them on that, especially Craig Lee Thomas. He's a great teacher. There's their online classes. So that way, if you can't go to their online or their in-person location in Los Angeles, you can take their classes through Zoom. I'm going to take a class with them soon for their anime characters, but this is a great resource for finding online classes or in-person classes through Real Voice LA, and they're a great studio that you probably want to get in front of if you want to work in animation and video games in the Los Angeles market. Next up is Help Network. I kind of brought them up earlier. You can find their workshops and webinars on here, and there's nothing much more to that. I already kind of explained them earlier. And last I have is Sound On Studio. Sound On Studio is kind of like Real Voice LA, except they mostly do things over the internet. And you can also find classes like accent workshops, voice director workshops, audio sound workshops, cold reading classes, audiobooks, commercials, animation, video game, anime, everything you want to find and in between, it's on their website for classes. Just scroll down, see what might interest you, and select it. But yeah, that's my video on classes and training and how to get your skills up before you go and get your demo and before you go present yourself to agents and casting directors in the voiceover space. So I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Once again, I will leave the links to all of these websites in the description below. And for my next video, we're going to talk about demos, commercial demos, animation demos, video game demos, promo demos, everything in between. So I hope to see you guys in my next video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.